Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving deep into the 7 deadly sins, counting them down from the least to the most severe. We'll also explore how the Stoics despised these sins and fought against them. And of course, we'll sprinkle in some wisdom from famous philosophers like Alexander the Great, Epictetus, Aristotle, and Marcus Aurelius. So, let's get started. Number 7. Sloth, the sin of laziness and indifference. Sloth is a failure to utilize one's talents and gifts. The Stoics believed in the value of hard work and the importance of contributing to society. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and a leading Stoic philosopher, said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." For the Stoics, life was about taking action and fulfilling one's duties. Imagine the daily life of a Roman citizen: constant demands, responsibilities, and the need to contribute to the community. In such a society, sloth was not just a personal failing, but a detriment to the collective well-being. The Stoics viewed it as a failure to live up to one's potential and societal role. To combat sloth, the Stoics advised setting clear goals, maintaining a disciplined schedule, and constantly reflecting on one's actions and progress. Number 6. Gluttony, the overindulgence in food and drink. The Stoics emphasized moderation and self-control. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, advised, "We should always be asking ourselves, is this something that is, or is not, in my control?" This quote reminds us that while we can't control external circumstances, we can control our responses to them, including our impulses and desires. The Stoics practiced temperance, which they believed was crucial for a balanced and harmonious life. In ancient times, banquets and feasts were common, but the Stoics stood apart by promoting a simple diet and moderate consumption. They believed that overindulgence weakened the mind and body, making one less capable of virtuous actions. To avoid gluttony, the Stoics suggested mindful eating, regular fasting, and valuing the nourishment of the soul over the body. And if you're enjoying this video so far, please like and subscribe. It helps to push the algorithm. Number 5. Greed, an insatiable desire for wealth and material possessions. Stoics taught that true happiness comes from within, not from external wealth. Aristotle once said, "Happiness depends upon ourselves." He believed that virtue and wisdom were the true sources of a fulfilling life, not the accumulation of riches. In the ancient world, wealth was often seen as a measure of success, but the Stoics argued that it could corrupt one's character. They taught that one should be content with what they have and focus on living a life of virtue. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." By prioritizing inner wealth, such as wisdom and virtue, over material wealth, the Stoics believed one could achieve true contentment and freedom from the chains of greed. Number 4. Wrath, intense anger and hatred towards others. The Stoics valued calmness and rational thinking. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it." Controlling one's temper was seen as a crucial aspect of Stoic practice. In the heat of ancient political and social conflicts, maintaining composure was essential. Wrath was viewed as a destructive force that could ruin relationships and lead to irrational decisions. To counteract anger, the Stoics practiced techniques such as taking deep breaths, reflecting on the insignificance of most provocations, and remembering the importance of compassion and understanding. By fostering an attitude of patience and forgiveness, the Stoics believed one could navigate life's challenges with greater wisdom and peace. Number 3. Envy, the resentment towards others for their possessions or qualities. Stoicism teaches us to focus on our own path and be content with what we have. As Alexander the Great wisely put it, "I am indebted to my father for living, but to my teacher for living well." It's a reminder to appreciate what we have and strive for self-improvement rather than envying others. Envy disrupts our peace of mind and leads us away from our own potential. The Stoics believed that comparing ourselves to others was futile and counterproductive. Instead, They encouraged gratitude and self-reflection. By recognizing and appreciating our own unique strengths and journey, we can cultivate a sense of satisfaction and avoid the pitfalls of envy. Daily practices like journaling about what we are grateful for and setting personal goals can help us stay focused on our own growth. So number 2, pride. An excessive belief in one's own abilities or superiority. The Stoics believed in humility and understanding our place in the world. Marcus Aurelius noted, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." This quote reminds us that humility and self-awareness are key to a meaningful life. In a world where power and status were often sought after, the Stoics stood firm in their belief that humility was a virtue. They argued that pride could blind one to their own faults and lead to downfall. The Stoics practiced humility by constantly reminding themselves of the transient nature of life and the importance of community. They believed that by acknowledging our limitations and valuing the contributions of others, we can live more fulfilling and virtuous lives. And finally, at number 1, we have lust, an intense or uncontrolled desire, usually of a sexual nature. The Stoics advocated for mastery over one's desires and impulses. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." By controlling our desires, we achieve true freedom. Lust was seen as particularly dangerous because it could cloud judgment and lead to reckless actions. The Stoics believed that giving in to such desires enslaved the mind. They taught that true freedom and happiness come from self-control and living in accordance with nature. To combat lust, the Stoics recommended practices such as mindfulness, focusing on higher pursuits like philosophy and personal development, and maintaining healthy relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. The 7 deadly sins represent behaviors that can lead us astray, but the teachings of the Stoics provide a roadmap for overcoming them. From the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius to the insights of Epictetus, we learn the importance of self-control, humility, and inner peace. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the 7 deadly sins and the Stoic response to them. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into philosophy and self-improvement. And remember, as Aristotle said, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. See you next time.